you see, it's Dr. Robert. I'm back, just been outside. That's why my glasses are dark, not trying to be hep or anything, but just wanted to make another installment in what I think is, a little bit of a series about why I collect records besides the music that's on the record or whatever content is on the records. So it's not only all about the music and Mazzy, but we start with the music. I think that always, is the start of it. But there's other aspects for me that that enter in just as a collector. And one of those, the one I'm going to highlight today, is the interest in completeness, all right, from an artist. So once I start buying records by an artist, I tend to buy more. I tend to, and particularly if I like what I have, I will say, and I do go in and, go in for artists I don't know, haven't heard their stuff, and check it out via a purchase. I'll do that. And that's one way of expanding, your knowledge base, and as well as your collection. But I wanted to show today an artist that I think is very interesting, not really even a musician, and that's Ken Nordine. Ken Nordine invented, I think you can say he invented word jazz in the late 50s, and it really is, it's a unique medium. He calls it that's a somewhat new medium on this cover. And this was the first word jazz album. Nordine was an announcer. He was actually born in my native state of Iowa, and somehow migrated, I think, to Southern California. He was in Chicago, I think, for a while as well, I want to say. And he made a lot of these recordings with the same backing band, Fred Katz, the Fred Katz group. And there is a jazz element to it, but he doesn't sing. He is reciting poetry in a lot of cases. I think you could call it poetry. And he, by the way, authored a lot of these pieces, so maybe all of them. So really very interesting stuff. This was the first record, and I don't think it was the first one I bought, but I found a copy of it. And here's another aspect of completeness. Here's a sealed copy, and it's also a stereo copy. This other one is mono. So I do like getting stereo and mono copies of the same record. When I buy a record that I have another copy of sealed, I typically don't open it. In fact, a lot of times, even if I do have a copy, if it's sealed, certainly if it's an old classic like that one, I just keep it sealed because I just want to have it in my collection. Here's Word Jazz Volume 2, also on Dot Records. This came out, I think, either the same year, probably the same year as 1957 again, and that's a stereo version. Here's yet another stereo called Son of Word Jazz. This one's being very clever. Of course, it's using a very similar cover art, but it's a new material, and again with the Fred Katz group. This is one I found at a garage sale for just $1 or $2, love words, and these are love poems that he's reciting that have been set to music. And these are not all his words. So he's speaking songs that have been written. I see Cole Porter is one of the authors on there. Here's another. This is called Next, and also references word jazz. I know there's been a lot of people that were big fans of this guy. Tom Waits, for example, is a big fan, and he's made several recordings or songs that are in a similar vein. This was a little later pressing, 1969. And here's another one from the late 50s, My Baby, 1959. Very fun cover, and still on the Dot label. And this was a compilation. This is not a new pressing, but a compilation of the first two Word Jazz LPs. And here's yet another Ken Nordine. This was again from the late 60s, mid 60s, 66. By now he had changed labels. This is on the Philips label. You can see it's a white label promo, and that's in quite nice condition. And that one's called Colors. And then here's another compilation. This is a Blue Thumb, also a promo copy, 1971. And How Are Things in Your Town? Double album. And yeah, nice copy of that. He continued to record for another decade or two. Here's a record that he called Stare With Your Ears. And I have played this. This one is actually quite interesting too. So I'll read from it here on the back. It says, silly, silly me, writing songs your ears can see, songs they are more said than sung, talking songs for solo tongue. Some are sad and some are not. Some could make you laugh a lot. All were written by my pen. Call me Nordine, comma, Ken. Clever. He was a clever guy. And he's only relatively recently passed away. He lived into his 90s. And then I'll show, these are also, you know, again, if you have interest in a particular artist, you want to find their work elsewhere, this is a compilation of Disney songs, and he actually performs the first song on here. And it's got a great cast. It's got, so he reads from Pinocchio, Hi Diddle Dee Dee, An Actor's Life for Me. And he's playing that with with Bill Frisell in the background. This has Los Lobos on it, has Michael Stipe and the Roaches, has Was Not Was. Tom Waits has a song on here. And many more. The Replacements have a song. Betty Carter has a song. NRBQ, Garth Hudson. So really an all-star cast. Cool records, compilation. He's only on one song, but it's still interesting. And then the last one I'll show is this, also from 1978, Sounds in Space. This is narrated by Ken Nordine. So he didn't write this, but it's a sort of a stereo demonstration record. He's credited on the back, but it's obviously not credited as a Ken Nordine record. So, but worth digging out, I think. And if you're a completist, if you're interested in, you know, filling out your collection and really tracking down everything you can by a given artist, it's worth having. So there you have it. That's one further reason, completism, you know, finding, running to fill your collection by a particular artist. It's not just about the music. All right, till next time, the doctor's out.